number 1 of our semifinal matchup of TSM and Sentinels.
Thank you so much, Moses. Pansy and Puckett bringing you the action. This is the semifinals of the PAX Arena Valorant Invitational. Two top teams have not dropped a match. And if you look at the numbers, TSM 10-2 to just 10-1 for the Sentinels. Only one map drop the entire way. Early on, Drone taking some heavy fire. And it's going to be a slow start, but early mid control taken by TSM.
Yeah, but look at this cat walk coming out from TSM. I like this. It's probably gonna be a contact piece. They're gonna try and take the fight and then burst off the back of it. They've got their Phoenix lurking in mid as well, which could work so well. Zombs was so unaware, caught with his pants down, and now this is where you've got that mid lurk coming into play, but Dapper's trying to hold back his blood.
Here comes the push from the top. Dapper trying to keep him off. And there's the first shot, lands that one. Paranoid, but it's nearsighted, and he's able to find Hayes. So big hold by Dapper once again. The Star Cypher holding his ground as it's going to be Sentinels taking the pistols, and we'll have money going into round 2. The question is, how big do they buy up, and will they prioritize an operator on Shazam in this matchup, knowing the strength of Wardell once he gets to that weapon?
Sure, I'm just so impressed with Dapper already. Just, you know, not only buying great deals of time with that first pick he got kind of as they came through heaven, falls away towards sight, still staying alive, doesn't overcommit, crushes it. I like that. That's going to really try and, you know, keep control of the pace. I absolutely love what he did there. So again, for TSM, I liked what they did as well, though. They did nothing bad. I like the mid lurk. This looks like it could be a different piece. Sick going to put down some early utility to maybe put then, you can see the combination with Sinatra into play, the slow in combo with the wall bang that can come through with the dart that would show up where they are. So nothing new. TSM should be aware. It looks like they've fallen into a mid take here.
And here comes the push up the cat once again. Zombs is going to call it out. Saw at least 2 guns there.
Cover going
and he is just going to slow this one down. If you take a look at the minimap, once again, it's going to be Dapper backing him up on the A side. The rotation could be coming in from Shazam down the middle, but they don't have all the info. They hear the door at B starting to take some heavy fire.
They've got mid control. They've got what they wanted, but what can they do from this? I love the fact that having Breach behind them is, you know, Shazam just needs to stay alive again, keep them boxed in, keep them controlled, buy time for this short play to come through. Zombs towards Hayes, but the trade comes in for Sabrosa. But by now, look at what's left. They're down to so few, just 2 stabs, and Dapper's still about and just does wonders with that ghost. My God, that was crisp.
Dapper played that so well. You caught Sabrosa reloading, but I think it's all set up by Shazam. The patience there, playing the middle of the map. He went for that jump peek, confirming it was more than 2 players in the middle, calls it out, and then the whole team collapses. Love seeing this early defense coming in from TSM, and as you can see, they're actually going to give the operator to Dapper over here on the A bomb site. So Dapper, yesterday, if you missed the matches, did not miss. You have a jet flying in at you, he's going to pick her out of the sky. There's no jets in this matchup, so I want to see what is the approach, as he looks like he may want to get aggressive.
Dapper instantly trying to remove some of the utility away from the opposition, ensure that they don't get free info towards A if there is a, you know, an aggressive play towards those A push-outs. And again, I like this. Look how aggressive the defensive side is being, how proactive they're being. You have that double push from Breach coming through, but Wardell finds it. Dapper's already gone down. That's the pick that TSM needs.
Wardell with an opening pick. Surprise, surprise. The sniper's coming into play, but so is the Bulldog. Shazam holding strong so far in market. You can see the spike is just around the corner. Sinatra backing him up, and Sinatra's going to bait it with the door closing. The peek comes from Sabrosa and a free kill for the defense. So now we've got 3 attackers left against the 4 defenders. Spike's in the middle of the map. 50 seconds to work with, so still plenty of time. But they're without their Sage. And really an op is going to be the key here if they can get an opening pick. But you got to get through Sinatra, who is so good at stalling here deep on B.
Yeah, this is where we're going to see the best of Sinatra, I feel, as to how much time he can try and buy. He's got to deliver at least 1 kill here or try and stay alive, because Shazam's the one floating at the kind of backside of B. Now, this hit's going to be a little bit drier than maybe they'd like on the attacking side, but they can play contact. But it's going to be Sinatra who's going to call it out if they do step out. They're going to see it now, so you can expect the swing coming in from Shazam. Might see a kill in the back. We don't. So it all comes down to Sinatra to hold the site, and he does. That's perfection from Sinatra. That was so well handled, the timing, and this is credit to how good Sinatra can be on these scenarios. This is exactly why you've got to hype this player up.
And can we remind you guys what weapon he just did that with? That was the Ares. Now he's going to upgrade to the Odin, so he is sticking with the LMGs. But a big gun round now going in favor of Sentinels. A fantastic start. Keep in mind, though, they started off very strong against Gen G before giving up multiple rounds in a row. So for me, you got to stay consistent. Do not give up an eco. Don't let any sheriffs find your head in this round.
Now, this is the thing, though. This is one of the big win conditions if you're a Sentinels fan. And a problem if you're a TSM fan is you want the economy to be in a very good position for TSM on either side. You want to ensure that someone like Wardell can get that up whenever he wants it. So again, this round, you want damage. You want to get guns away. You want to try and recover the economy because right now, as you said, they're down to sheriffs. It ain't much. They're going for a play up short. It looks like plenty of util in the way, though.
And here comes the double shock dart play as it should be the first pick, not complete. And we will see Sinatra still holding the corner as it's going to be Shazam forcing Drone out. Excellent teamwork there to get the pick. The attackers all hitting A quick, though, and it's going to be up to Dapper and Zom. With the first two, Spectre at range, and Dapper is going to have his work cut out for him.
Come on. Oh, Wardell, that's a little cheeky there, coming in. But Shazam's on the case, and Wardell, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Sinatra is just doing him dirty. Look at this. The lineups, the spam, the wall bangs. It's everything you want. And I'm going to say this right now. Sentinels look so warmed up. Like, the way they've been playing, like, Dapper's aim looks crisp. You saw Zoms then just sliding that third kill. I mean, he was being shot at, so aim punch kicks in. But they look warmed up here. This looks like that they were grinding, getting ready for this one. Now, another incredibly paramount round for TSM. This could be the big turning point for them. They could try and slow down that economy build from the defensive side. They've got the op back out, but they need that start. They need to find their footing here, Puckett, and it's going to kind of happen soon.
I want to call it out now before that number changes, but Drone is 0-4. He has picked first blood for 2 of the rounds. Keep your eyes on the Phoenix. He was one of their star players in yesterday's performance for TSM, especially in that comeback. If he starts to heat up, that's when TSM can become extremely dangerous and make their way back in this game. Here comes Drone, leading the charge up the middle, getting rid of the Cypher wires, and they're going to try and isolate Shazam, who normally plays the back middle of this map. This time around, it's going to be a rotation, as it looks like that is going to be held down by Puckett.
They've switched. They put their Cypher over by B. They put Sinatra over by A. They did a mid-round, well, not mid-round, but mid-game switch of positioning. Maybe just to allow for this A stack. Is this a counter to TSM? This is a really good read if it is. They've got the stack in the right place, and they know it. Sabrosa does find Zomzo, but do they expect 3 more players this close by?
All right, you just saw Sinatra give up his location. Drone tried to punish it. Sinatra with the Odin holding strong. We'll see how long he can survive. Here comes the push. 2 more players getting in his face. There's a second down. He can keep the spamming. 100 bullets in the clip means he can go all day. Finally, Sabrosa finds his 3rd kill. But the man has been a one-man army at this point. Dapper, last man standing for the Sentinels. And here he's got to get through Wardell.
Wardell on red alert. Dapper wanted to walk the smoke. Been spotted. This is going to be even trickier now. Everything's been noted. Trying to fake the sound on breaking the window and going to double back around. But that util, look how much they got left here. Nicely held by TSM, buying as much time as possible. And Wardell ain't going to let this one go. Surely he just holds this. The crossfire stays in place. Dapper would have to pull off a miracle at this point to get back in.
What can you do as a Cypher? The kit, not great for the retake, and Wardell is going to find the easy one. So up to his ultimate already is Wardell, operator in hand. Now we'll see, can TSM string this into multiple rounds in a row? But you got to keep in mind, Sentinels were able to build up a decent bank, definitely able to buy the next 2 rounds here, and we're going to see a little prioritization. Keep some cash. Sinatra putting away the Odin, just sticking with the Phantom here. 9-1 to start, though, for Sinatra. And on the other side, Sabrosa showed you what he can do once his shot is on with that 3K.
I just want to highlight as well, this is credit to TSM. They went into a stacked out site. There was basically, I think, 4 players there at that point. So to be able to take that is very, very good for them. That's going to be a confidence builder. They may be curious when they come against 4 players, but no matter what the outcome, that was a really kind of good approach.
Easing in his Cutler through the middle of the map on the other side of the wall. It's the duo, Sinatra and Shazam, love to peek together, and there is a opening pick on both sides. Drone is going to find Zoms, though, so the A site being taken. All 3 defenders having to rotate through the middle, and you got Drone just waiting for him to push through this smoke. Sinatra finding nothing. And Spike does go down. So now it's going to be Shazam with a retake attempt. It's going to lead this charge. Sick, letting everybody know where he's at with a little spam through the smoke. And the boys are going to try and go through the high ground. Hazed on the Omen. No paranoia at this point. Does have teleports, but that's not going to be useful here. Trying to spam through the ground, and he's really just distracting us. Wardell does the damage from range. Hazed from underneath is going to find one, but Sick goes for the quick res. So back up to 2 defenders here. It's Shazam and Sick. And instantly down goes Shazam. This should be all TSM in this round.
Found an individual fight, and I'm pretty sure time's kind of run out. Yeah, Sick, get out of there. It was a good little bit of a lost moment, but not good enough. And there's got to be an answer now from the Sentinels. You can't start letting these get away from you. And there's going to be a tempo set, right? So TSM now have successfully hit that site 2 times in a row. And there hasn't really been a big answer. So I do want to see what they try and come back with. Maybe that was their attempt to kind of make a bit of a mid play coming up, but they lost players on short. So there's got to be something they want to try and implore to bring this one back around. But I'm not sure what state the economy is going to be in at this point for the Sentinels. They can still fashion a buy. I think this might be the last one that they can truly get in a comfortable way. But this is where TSM, as said, setting the tempo, they can then just go back to a B hit, and they've probably already stacked out towards A. So this is then TSM taking back control of those mind games.
And C6 soloing B at the moment. Spike is down on that side of the map, but here's Drone popping the ult and leading the charge. He's got his running back, and he's looking for info. Didn't see much except for the edge of Sinatra. So they know at least where one player is, but not a ton of information there from the Phoenix ult.
Enemy tag.
Drone coming back out on the opposite end. The Owl Drone, I should say, from Sinatra, as he is just peeking. Was able to tag one, and you're going to see that Spike still sitting pretty in the spawn. They're waiting for the defenders to peek. After watching the Sentinels footage against Gen G, not a bad play, because they were often going for the aggressive peeks, especially from Sinatra and Shazam together.
But look how deep the defensive team's sitting. They're playing instant posture towards a retake on B. They're not even holding the B site. They're more than happy to let that go, apparently, and play on the retake towards this. They've just got to make sure they keep some utility. Sick is there, so he's going to definitely know when they hit the site. And I think now, seeing all this utility, they're going to know what's up. Let's go for a spam. Shouldn't go for the big fight. Needs to wait for those rotations to come in, which they're right about to do now. So if you're going to posture like this, you better be ready to hit these retakes, which is not easy at all.
Color's got wires watching B main. Meanwhile, Subrosa was holding door, but Shazam's going to get the first peek. So here comes the defense. Hazed very weak, still back on site, hanging out with Drone. And we do have the Rolling Thunder available. Will Shazam invest it here? Now could be the time with everyone set up to follow it up.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a very, very comprehensive hit together, because time's going to be running out, and Drone has just found 3 out of nowhere. That's 4. Drone just went massive for his team, and Wardell's just going to close out at the very end. But a really nice take, and TSM leading the mind games right now. They have a really good grip on what they're doing in this.
Warren, I don't know if you noticed it, but Shazam was using his ultimate right when Drone popped out and got that 3K. So not only a big round win, but you're getting some of the biggest ultimates that Sentinels had in the bank. Huge round for TSM. You're looking at the very last buy from the Sentinels. If you lose this round, you are broke, and it will be TSM stealing the lead.
And now the switch up again. This is so nice. I like what TSM are doing. This is a very well thought out attack. They're kind of, switching it up again. Okay, successful B hit. Right, let's spin over back towards A. They are going to be putting Sentinels through their paces. This is the game we really did want to see between these two. Some really, heavyweight teams at the moment. This is going to put, Sentinels through their paces. They're not going to have an easy time. But there are still 2 players posted up towards A, and this aggression towards B makes them know, okay, well, they're not coming B, so we better get our rotation starting, and they're going to see all this util. And, well, Zom's still fully blind, manages to catch Drone. That's not a bad 1-for-1, but there's only 1 man left on that side.
Set it up at head height and pull the trigger. Dapper, can he be a legend once again? He clutched up in the early rounds. Now he's going to be swarmed, and this time Cutler gets the best of him. Instant use of the ultimate from the Cypher. That's going to reveal all the remaining defenders, and now they got the info. They're up top, plant it behind Generator. Let's hold it safe and force them to come down.
All of these players retaken from the same position is going to be really, really tricky, especially when you still have Wardell in that sort of position. Util left on Subrosa to buy more and more time. At the moment, TSM are showing exactly what they're made of. This is a big performance, and this retake is going to be brutally hard. And again, these quick hits as well through hits are just going to make it trickier with this utility left, and Wardell is just buying time. He's being the biggest pain he can be. Sinatra might find one, Shazam finds a second, and suddenly it's game back home when Shazam lands shots like that.
If you looked at the post-plant setup, you think this is TSM's round, right? You trade out one kill at the start, but after that, it was all TSM. This was just brute forcing their way. They stuck Wardell in the corner between Shazam and Sinatra pre-firing, couldn't get the shot off, and then, of course, the quick spin around from Shazam to find the kill on the Cypher down in hell. This is a big round from the Sentinels. We mentioned they were broke if they didn't win it. Now they got the op off of Wardell. They can all buy up. They're going to be feeling good outside of just a Spectre there on Dapper, but that's not terrible considering what the opponents can bring to the table.
No, this is going to be a fun one. It looks like maybe a pacey piece towards B, because they haven't taken any control elsewhere. They are looking towards middle at least, so they've got to, they're not leaving it completely open. They're keeping some options open by leaving their Omen to kind of lurk around middle. Not being subtle with their presence here, though. Sick now knows what's up. Drone's going to punish, and they might springboard off the back of this.
Sinatra about to get flooded, and he's trying to trade out. Injured 3 players, but killed nothing.
No
And
charges
with
left.
4 players left, including the ult from Drone, they should have an opportunity to break on site. As I say, Shazam hits its first shot and the second on Wardell. So Rosa and Drone are going to be able to pick up kills of their own, and Dapper, again, able to pick up a kill to stay in this one. 1 versus 2. Both players are weak. It's going to take about 2 bullets each.
Liked what Dapper tried to do, capitalize on the player holding the back while the plant was coming in just for that second. Tries a new angle now. Still trying to get past Sabrosa, who's not allowing it. He knows the positions, the time is being bought here. Nicely played by the post-plant team. They're going to sit in deep. They do not want to allow any mistakes. A readjustment as well. Playing a little bit of a new angle. Post right on the boxes. Swing comes out, but Dapper finds Cutler. A mistake being made, but the time is ticking. It's 4 HP. I think it's good.
What a 2v1 clutch coming out of Dapper. That was even a Brimstone ult trying to delay him. You saw a switch up in the positions, but they kind of went to the same spot the other one was previously. So a little easy read for Dapper on the first peek, but his reactions were incredible. TSM clearly afraid to take the straight up gunfight. They weren't able to peek at the same time, and Dapper played that one well. It all starts, though, with a strong snipe from Shazam, and I think this is going to be a key throughout this series. Doing that damage at range, staying alive, buying time for the rotation, especially on maps like Ascent.
I want to see what they go back to for TSM. Now on the attacking side, the A hit still worked. The retake was just successful that time. You know, that kind of play back in with Sinatra coming back through. And I wonder if they go back to that, or if they maybe feel a little bit turned off by that one now and they're not feeling it so much more. Shazam, that sloppy gets caught by Drone. Drone is not going to let you get away with that anytime. Quick res comes up, but Shazam is really vulnerable here. They're going to have to back away, but look at this utility committed towards it as well. The defensive side having to work for this one. That mid pressure is really mounting.
And you're looking at the utility. It's all been used from the defenders in mid. Zom's holding strong at the top. Cat is going to find the first. Wardell is going to be able to answer back, but the Spectre did its job. They've got the info and they've seen the spike. What will TSM decide to do here? You still have a minute. You've had most success on the A site, so I do expect them to fully commit here, but they always could wrap it back around.
Dapper's been so good at this. I say that and he'll probably die instantly, but no, he's good for one. Gonna fall away, doesn't overcommit on this, but you know he's tempted to. That shock dart in, those darts kind of coming through. And yeah, this is a great moment for them, but Sabrosa is still standing. And this man is a god of his own right, but he has 2 players to try and get this against, and Shazam's not gonna allow it. My word.
Comes in with the
The
classic.
individuals. Woof.
Yeah, anytime you see Shazam working with Sinatra late in the round, this round is not over. The duo continues to push and do work. Nice res, though, from Sick, giving his Opper an opportunity to get back in the round. And, of course, everyone surviving through the spray is what turned the tide for the defense here. Let's see what attacks can do here with just Sheriffs, as TSM have pistols in hand, down 7-3. This is not the way they planned this map, the one they picked to go.
And these post plants, the retakes that Sentinels have been pulling off are just wild. I mean, it's great to see. I'd say, you know, when we looked at Gen G, for example, they were very well constructed retakes. This is just some individuals really shining. Just taking nothing away from the Sentinels, it works. And Sabrosa, speaking of working, that's a pick. That's a nice little freebie to begin with. You can't underestimate TSM's aim. You don't want to over-peak these guys. You don't want to be sloppy in these rounds because you'll get punished.
Shazam investing his Rolling Thunder down the middle, expected everyone to be pushing him, and that definitely is going to delay. Brings time for everyone to push up. As you're going to see a little bit of action from Zoms, just smoking cat. He's still playing deep. Defense has been very respectful through the middle. They're just giving this one up and making you play them tight, giving themselves time and opportunities here. As we take a look at the offense, though, it's going to be Drone leading the way once again. He's been clean with the Sheriff throughout this tournament. In their eco rounds, he was a key factor for them. Will he be able to find this first pick following up a flash? Try peeking, and that is going to be costly. Shazam finds the first. The second is dropped down to 0 health. Sinatra just beaming him through the middle. And it is a strong hold from defense so far. Just a pistol round, but you gotta love the way that Sentinels are using their abilities here. They are not giving TSM any free rounds. Sabrosa trying to be a hero, though, a 1v2. He's got 3. This would be an ace if he clutches.
Open up the sky.
He's got his ult. This could be so uncomfortable. Oh, Sinatra. Safe pair of hands at the end. That got a little scary, didn't it? That got a little worrying. 3
it's
kills.
round 11. Let it rip, right? It's round 11. You don't want to save it for the final one. You got an opportunity. Some Roses feeling it at 13 and 10. But man, this has been a tough half for the attackers. TSM, we got to remind everyone, they were in the same exact position against Envy. It was a different map, but a 9-3 half before they got their turn on defense. So we'll see. Will they be able to put up a 4th before the half is over? They've got the guns to do so. Wardell only a half armor, but everyone else fully stacked.
This is a big wake-up call for TSM, I think. The rounds they got aren't bad ones, but 3 rounds is still just 3 rounds. Again, you don't want to be put through these constant comebacks that they have to do. This is a little scary for them, I can imagine. But for Sentinels, it's hitting just right. Gonna take towards mid, potentially for Shazam. It was closed out by Zoms in the end. Gonna just spam through that smoke, knowing that Sabrosa was definitely damaged on the other side. Sick gonna assist over by Sinatra, by B, just gonna pop the walls, gonna buy a bit of time. Everyone playing very patient for the defensive team as well. They're not overcommitting here, and you can see TSM looking for opportunities. They're not being given many, if I'm honest.
Wardell looking through the middle. That smoke is going to be clearing just as Shazam is going to go for a peek. Does he feel the pressure coming? He's going to sit in a smoke of his own. It's only a matter of time before Shazam's able to pounce. 3 players in it. They have the other side of the door closed, so Shazam in a perfect position to slow it down, but Drone somehow pulls it out again. Following up his curveball, he finds 2 headshots, and now they're flooding onto A.
This could be a huge round for TSM. It gives them that little bit of a buffer going in towards that second half, but Sinatra doesn't want any of that. He wants to stop it before it starts. Cutler kind of feeding there. Didn't need to die that early in no man's land, but Drone is on a tear here, Puckett.
Using that run it back, gives himself information and opportunity. Sick, though, with the pick on Wardell. It's going to make this tough. It's going to be the 1 versus 2. Can he clutch up? Not this time, as Sick is going to lock it in for the Sentinels. 9-3 defense. You can't ask for a better start for a team that they love this map, and their opponents picked it for them.
Okay, so let's look at silver linings for TSM here. The rounds they won weren't at least pistol rounds. You know, if you come into a half with 3 rounds beside you and they were the first 2, let's say you pick up and then, you know, maybe the other team gets the other one, but then you bring it back in the 4th. That's a nice benefit. They won in some of the gun rounds. They were having, some really good success towards A on their initial hits. They seem to have been thrown off by some of the retakes coming in because they didn't go back to that sort of defaulted A hit that they were bringing out, which was really, really diligent. But for the Sentinels, I've got to say, their individuals have been so clutch. These retakes have been so on point. For TSM, it's time to turn up, though. Let's see if they can deliver on the way back through here, because, again, TSM, we know they can pull off comebacks. We know once the economy goes in their favor, they are so well handled at these sort of games, so they're probably not out of it yet, but it's going to be a tough one. And honestly, if you're TSM, did you really want to have to do another comeback?
Oh, man, I don't know if TSM has this one, though. Yesterday, they were able to turn it on. They were able to take advantage of the range that Haven gives you. And, of course, we saw some excellent individual retakes coming in. But now you're going up against a different beast. I feel like Sentinels are all hitting their shots right now, even when they're on low buys. You see what Zom was able to do with his Spectre at this point. This is going to be a very, very dangerous second half. Can TSM pull off magic in back-to-back days? If they do, I will go ahead and hand them the crown already and just say, you guys are the best team in Valorant in North America. You got the best mental game. You're able to bounce back regardless of how much is stacked against you. But this is a fantastic start. Sentinels now looking like they could be at 1-0. We have a small disconnect, so we're just waiting on players to get back in this game, but we will be keeping it up and running. Chat, let us know what you think about the matchup so far. I saw a lot of the Iron players saying that it was a wasted ult in the chat. Thank you for calling them out, Gold 2s. But no, shout out to everyone who has been with us for the entirety of this tournament. If you're just joining us, it's the PAX Valorant Invitational powered by Seagate Gaming. And the PAX Arena Invitational has definitely been a good one. If you missed the VODs yesterday, check it out after today's matchups, because this has been some of the best Valorant play we have seen in NA so far.
100%. Okay, so you asked Chap something. I want to ask them, how does TSM win this? What are their win conditions? Is it that you need Wardell to go off every single time? You tell me what they need right now, because honestly, Sentinels are showing a great deal. But again, you know, attack and defense, let's kind of keep it in mind. Let's not kind of get too ahead of ourselves just yet. But I'd love to know what you guys think is maybe the turnaround clause for TSM on this one, because 3 rounds it's pretty brutal. But for now, it's attack time for the Sentinels, and we've seen some interesting plays from them, but they've got to really muster it all together here, and it looked like an early feign towards B, but still going to sweep through the map, head on those rotations, and Dapper, well, we saw what happened on the previous pistol. If he's on point with this Ghost, that's dangerous. That's surgical precision. But now I've said it, he'll probably, you know, miss the whole clip.
And keep your eyes on Hazed on this defense. Yesterday, he had such a good job of working on this agent. Normally plays the Sage on other maps. Today, he is going to be stacked up at B, at least to start with Cutler. And the push is going to be coming in. Wardell trying to get into position as they hear the footsteps flooding through. Going to give up his location with that shock dart, or excuse me, recon dart. And the cameras are going to spot too. So very slow round, but the attack is coming, flowing. Zik finds the first headshot. Down goes the back. You have the site wide open. 3 dead already. Drone trying to call back in this one. We got Sarosa holding. But do they know? Dapper's around the corner. Nope. This is definitely going to be a 10-3 start here. What a job by the weakened attackers. You can still pull this off, but it is going to be so tough for Drone, who's on 63 HP.
Yeah, and Dapper's buying time. Look at the way he's fallen back towards middle. It's going to cost Drone even more opportunities. Quickly picks it up. That's good. There's just not much time left on this. He's got to go so quick. And Drone's been pretty clutch, but the speed in which he has to do this has to be so on point. Zums just denies it. The double face at the end. And I love that mid take, but god damn, this is looking scary now. You know, if you wanted to come back, everyone's gonna say, yep, that pissed around, the one to follow. Ideally, that kind of weird buy they get left on against the full round, but 10-3 when you hit those double digits, I'm worried. I'm worried because let's apply confidence to the Sentinels' win conditions. Let's apply that in there, and then suddenly this map pool gets pretty beastly in their favor, because I was expecting TSM to be confident, bound through the game. It's not to be. But this round could certainly be turned. It's a very light investment from the Sentinels. They don't have to rush their economy. They can take their time on it.
Sentinels spreading it out. Default start here. Just trying to get some equipment out from the defense. And we'll see. Will anyone peek? Last time they were in this situation, we saw Wardell buy up the shorty and press aggressively through the beat main. He was able to trade out 2 kills before falling, this time playing very deep on site. And it looks like everyone is going to let him through the front door. Wardell is going to rotate back while the rest of the family comes from the middle. First pick goes through for Wardell. Sick answers back, and the USP, excuse me, the Ghost just too strong as Zoms is going to find a third. It's once again Drone and Sarosa rotating from A.
Rotations are going to be tough as well. Shazam's got him pinned.
Oh, that shorty's really good, right? Yeah, let's upgrade to a classic from the shorty in a 1v4.
Right, and I know you were looking at the statistics. Now, obviously, we know this is a good map for Sentinels, but could you give us some context real quick on TSM? Because I know this isn't a bad map for them either. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty decent map for them. If you get the time to have a little look on that, maybe win % on this map on average, that'd be great. As I said, I'm pretty certain this is a very good map.
if you're looking at the numbers, I mean, TSM is great at everything. They're 20-2 on Haven, 11-1 on Split, 19-4 on Ascent compared to their 6-6 on Bind. So they still have an 83% game win rate on this map coming in. But on the other side, it's 91%. Sentinels have only lost it one time since they formed.
Now, the one thing I want to bring in, and again, these are all just small things I'm trying to keep in mind. We have seen Sentinels struggle to close out games. We saw them discussing sometimes to get too ahead of themselves. I think they're keeping themselves in check in this game for now. You know, 11-3, they haven't gone sloppy. They haven't got ahead of themselves. They're kind of keeping everything in check. And a game like this, obviously when you know your opponents can snowball so well like TSM can, you have to do that. So I like the way Sentinels are approaching this. They're being very meticulous and careful. Now, this is the round where TSM could get one back in, and what a cheeky win this would be if the Sentinels got it to get to map point. But the buy is substantially better with TSM here.
Absolutely. 2 Bulldogs, and of course the Ares on Sinatra. Going up against TSM's full buy, Wardell. Well, he's down to 16 HP, not the start you want. And of course, a Sageless composition, that's what he's going to have for the rest of it. Will he be able to get the first pick, though? Here comes the flood. Wardell is going to get pushed back to the corner, but doesn't fall quite yet. He's going to go down, though, and now Wardell is going to get dropped. So Rosa and Drone, how many times in a row? The last two, I feel like you should just 5-stack B at this point. It is getting rough. This time, they have weapons, though, and we know what they're capable of. Full kit left here for Drone. He is going to be 2 kills away from popping an ultimate. So Rosa, well, he's going to be scouted by that Drone, and now he is going to be in trouble. Gun down, Drone in a 1v5, able to get the first, but that could be it.
All right, Drone. Good luck, bud. This is the icing on the cake for Sentinels. He's doing what he... 6 HP, it's done. This is the, put a fork in it. This one's done. 12-3. They won the round. There was always going to be... That would have been just, that's a cheeky one. That's the one you're happy with if you get it, maybe. You don't expect to win that one. The favor sits on the other side. But this is a big statement. I think we were waiting to see, okay, well, we've seen Sentinels on the rise recently, and I think that's something that, if you guys listen to podcasts, keep up to date with a lot of, content out there, people have all been noticing, okay, Sentinels, they're looking so much better. Now, does that translate into the immediate tournament results? We're not sure yet, but this is a big statement for them. Yes, this map is a good map for them, but it's also a good map for TSM, and it's not enough of a differential to have a 12-3 standing as it is right now. So we'll see what happens down the line. For now, Hayes is in all kind of danger, and Sinatra wants to pressure that problem.
Hayes pinned in the corner early on, was able to teleport out. Drone finally gets his ultimate, but doesn't get much out of it. So defense, again, in a very tricky situation. Sinatra, he uses Recon Dart. He's used his whole kit through the middle of the map. And the Sentinels look like they may finally make their way towards the A site. Just so Rosa, last man standing here as everyone else is stacked up over on B, but he's got the right weapon for it. It's the Jugs, finds one, does get a second before Sick is able to clean it up. And Sick, we mentioned his strength yesterday, so strong as a Sage player, playing aggressive through the group stages. Had a little bit of an off performance, but the man is back on the attack. Wardell from above with the Guardian. He is going to be just the first one to go down. 3 more going to try and push through, and they know exactly where the defenders are positioned.
Shazam towards Drone, Sick towards Cutler, and Hayes falls, and there it is. What a commanding scoreline, 13-3 Puckett. That is a statement and a half. That's ridiculous. That scoreline, you don't get to do that against TSM, but apparently the Sentinels do now.
All right, so Lauren, I've got stats here, and I want to give a big shout out to Jasher, our stats wizard, who put all this together, and of course, the Spike.gg, who put it together for us coming into the event. They've only played one time. That was back at the 100 Thieves event there. It was a 13-4 performance. Myth was in the lineup, I believe, at that time, as they were constantly swapping out their 5th. But now a 13-4 and a 13-3 on the record books. This is a good matchup for the Sentinels, at least on this map. I'm looking at TSM. How do you bounce back in map 2? Because this was a huge slap in the face to start your day.
It's going to need a little bit of fortitude, isn't it? I mean, it can happen. You lose a map, you move on. It's a best of 3, don't worry about it. But losing 13-3 is harsh. That's going to be